Hi everyone, Jeff here. We're going to be playing a little bit of Vainglory today and looking forward to some fun matches. I've got the whole team here today, so we've got Jug, our captain, myself, and then Roxy down there. Jug usually goes our support with Roxy in the jungle. I'll probably take lane. So we're trying to figure out who really to ban out here. You know, our standards are probably Blackfeather. He's kind of OP at the moment. Other times we'll probably look at that Taka, maybe the Adagio or the Soft. We just really don't want to deal with them. So we're waiting to see who our enemy is going to ban. Looks like they banned out Rhyme. Standard choice. Looks like they want an easier time in the jungle. Even with his nerf, still pretty solid hero. Jug with the first pick. We're probably going to go with a roam just so they can't see exactly who we're going to use as our carries. And we want to see a little bit about the enemy team. Yep, there it is. Locked in Catherine. Pretty solid choice for him. He's actually a beast on Catherine sometimes, so pretty happy about that pick. So just waiting on the enemy team. They pick up Ardan. Alright. Oh, a Rona. That's going to be interesting. So with Rona, I'm thinking I want a little bit more distance. I'm probably going to take lane, and with that I'm going to go CP. Roxy almost insta-locks. Glaive, I know he's going to be happy about it. And, ooh, the last pick is a Vox. Okay. So Vox is probably going to go CP. Rona's going to go weapon. Ardan, I'm going to assume, is going to go with a pretty standard build because we don't have any like slippery or stealthy characters on our team. So a couple more seconds, we're going to get into the match. Now let's take a look. Alright, Frozen Bread on the Vox. This guy's actually on my friends list, so it'll be kind of fun to play against him. We maybe either have some bragging rights, or I'm gonna have to put up with a little bit of trash talk at the end of this one, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so coming in, I know it says sprint boots, but I'm terrible at last hitting with Skaarf, especially out of the gate, so I actually go with the weapon blade as one of my first items. It really just kind of helps me, you know, keep my CS up, and I think that it's worth the 300 gold that I'm gonna eventually sell, because I'm just going to hit that many more minions and keep my CS up throughout the game. Not really looking at it for damage, but you know, who knows, it could also throw them off a little bit by being like, hey, why is the Skaarf going weapon power? Is this guy trolling or not? So really trying to do the last hit on the minions. Oh, it was interesting, the tower tried to snipe one of them. So there's two. Alright, give him a little poke, let him know that I'm here. And dancing around. There's three. Alright, the big minion's coming up. Boom. Oh man, I missed him. Not quite enough damage on the Spitfire. That's a bummer. Anyway, got that one. Got that one. Now, do you see how I'm trying to keep the minions on my side of the lane? Essentially, it's because I know that they have a Rona that can just jump out of nowhere and kind of get me. So I really like to play it safe right around this area. So again, hit him, pull the minions in a little bit closer. I'm just going to lay down a little bit of my goop there to kind of keep them from rotating around. Let's see, hit that minion, we're good. 9 CS, a minute and 32 in. Not fantastic, but not terrible at the same time. Alright, got the big one, got another little one. Now we're up to 12. So one of the little tricks that you can do is if you actually hit the enemy hero or give him a little poke, it'll bring the minions on your side, because you can see that most of my minions are right now over that halfway point, which isn't exactly where I want them to be, again, because I'm a little afraid of that Rona. And I like to have the control of the map on my side. And again, you know, there I kind of missed that last big minion, partly because I'm just playing a little bit too cautiously and not really timing my basic attacks right. And the big ones are really the minions that you want because they count for 2 CS instead of just 1. Boom, got that one. Alright, so the lane is pushed, but I see my junglers rotating up here, and yep, there's Rona kind of camping out. Got a little poke on her. Not going to pursue too much, even though I know that my team is there. I'm going to clear out the scout traps. Vox sees it, so he's kind of backing off a little bit, hiding underneath that turret. Not too worried about Ardan at the moment. There's some resonance. Again, Vox isn't really being too aggressive with me, even though I'm super low on energy. but you know, we'll probably just go back home right now. So we'll take a look at the shop menu, grab that heavy prism because I want to be a little bit more of a bother. I'm going to grab a swift shooter, try to work into that alternating current. You know, as I think about it, I probably should have gotten tier 1 boots, but again, that Vox isn't being overly aggressive, and I'm trying to play it safe in the lane, so I think I can wait until my next cycle back to really buy those. I think the extra attack speed will just help out with that farming up in the lane. Plus, I'm pretty confident that our Glaive Catherine combo can, you know, really hold their own in the jungle against Rona and Ardan right now. We got those. We're cleaning up some farm. That was a good farming right now. I'm going to rotate down because I see him coming up. Let's see here. We got a scout trap down. I'm going to poke in the bush. Don't see anything. Actually, they walked right past the jungle shop. So I know if they're moving or they're rotating back into their jungle. I'm going to go back up to the lane and start farming some more. Another little guy. That's good. Vox just popped back up, so I know that my junglers aren't in danger even though they're in the back. So going after it, got the big minion, good. Getting a little close to where we are here, so I'm gonna like just lay down a goop and really try to farm up some just so I don't miss any CS here and get that extra damage so I can clear this lane pretty quick. But I know that they're not gonna push too far forward, and even if they do, I think we're gonna be okay. So I know Roxy's coming up behind me, so I've got some extra protection. He's just going to camp out there in the bush. I'm going to start doing this part. Jug's telling me to move up and try to bait Vox out a little bit. But again, he's being really cautious kind of this early game. I think he suspects the gank, even though you know, he doesn't really have any vision in that area. Trying to push him down south a little bit, you know, with a Spitfire above on the north, just trying to keep him down. Alright, he's using his A around me. All good there. So we're really just doing the farming dance, just trying not to, you know, be overly aggressive and just see who can get up the furthest. So there's a flare right underneath me. I know that Ardan and Rona are coming in. They're rotating down. We're actually on comms, so I'm talking to my teammate and telling him, hey, you're there. So they place the scout trap. Roxy clears it out. That's great. I'm at level 6 now, which is a nice little power spike. I've got my ultimate. Not really enough damage yet to really keep the ultimate going too much, but I like to put my points in there. Kind of my path build out is, I generally split it pretty evenly between my Spitfire and my Goop, and then I max both A and B just because I like that extra burst damage that's on there. I typically use my ult more for crowd control and also late game when I can kind of corral everyone together, build up some broken mist stacks, and really just kind of go to town, which is the fun way of doing it. So there's my boots, there's my alternating current, feeling pretty good now. Vox comes in, I miss my Spitfire, which is just terrible. It would have been a completely different fight if that was the case. I'm low, I move out, I see him come up. Unfortunately, Roxy just kind of goes down to Rona there. We see Vox kind of coming down there. Luckily we cleared our backs, I'm not too worried. I'm going to shoot a Spitfire into the bush just to kind of warn him, hey, don't come up here, I've got my eye on you. And now that I know that he's not coming up to the bush, I'm going to just go back to farming because I'm going to, you know, get a lot of money from this lane right here. Vox is probably going to come around the other side, and I'll see him pop up here in just a second if I'm thinking correctly. Looks like they actually took our minion mine, and by the size of these minions, they're just massive. But I'm clearing them out as fast as I can. That's why I laid down the goop. Now my turret's getting in it. Actually, wow, if you look at it, it takes 2 turret shots just to hit one of those like little minions. That's insane. Let's see, hit that one, boom, got it.
Gold mine is almost full.
Wow, I think I got all of those minions. That's actually really solid. Oh, there's Vox, came right up. Roxy's coming in, boom. Oh, that was great teamwork. If it wasn't for him, I would have certainly been dead. So now with Vox out of the way, I'm going to try to clear this lane as quick as possible. So I see a flare come out. I'm going to back up a little bit in my turret because I don't know whether that's Ardan or Rona. Probably Ardan with the flares because he's their support. So I'm going to hit the big minion, get 2 more CS off that one, another one. Really trying to take advantage of while their lane carry is out of the way. So farming up some, trying to save up some of my energy. There's Rona. For some reason she comes in with a hop. I think she just happened to miss. So my team rotates up. They see that Vox is up there by our turret because our minions are giving us a little bit of vision. So we rotate down, Jug pokes his head out, he does a good little face check to see if he can draw the enemy team out of the other bush. I'm going to pick up a couple more items, a crystal bit, a few more pots to keep my energy up. So we're going to head back up to lane because it's probably going to get pushed a little bit. I think we got signaled to say, hey, let's go try to pick a fight over here. So there goes Roxy. Boom, I hit him with the Spitfire. Goes in. Rona goes down. We just got silenced by Vox. Roxy, super low, but he gets out. So now I'm going to pursue a little bit. So we're coming in. Jug pops his barrier, comes up. I'm going to try to get Vox, but he A's out of the way. Kind of dodges my Spitfire. I see Ardan's really low, so he's going to come after me a little bit. Good stun. I get him. Although it looks like my support just kind of fell to the minion miner / Ardan a little bit. So while I could go trade for trade with Ardan, I've got maybe one Spitfire left, and I just saw Rona right behind me. So I'm going to take a little bit easy, go back up to lane, farm up a little bit. Don't need to be overly aggressive. Still got the one kill out of it, which worked out really well. I'm going to check the bush with my Spitfire. You know, with Skaarf, that's one of the best things you can do. His range is so far. It's a great way to check the bush, but you really need to have your volume up on the game. So there's Rona. She jumped right on me. I'm probably, yep, I'm dead. Nothing I could have done there. That was a really good gank. So what you saw is they actually coordinated right at the same time. Rona jumped in, Vox came in, hit me with resonance, which slowed me down, and then he was able to use his A to get off a couple more basic attacks and really just take me out. My team is rotated up so they can protect our turret, and then I'm going to head out there and see if I can help them, push the lane a little bit so they can get back to jungling back in the farm. I'm checking the builds really quick. Vox is definitely counter building me. He's got some shielding up there, also a reflex block. Will be good if he wants to avoid a Spitfire, but I think he's probably saving that more for Roxy or the stun with that afterburn on Glaive. So we cleared out the minions in the top. We're going to rotate down. Vox is actually out of position, so you see him pop the reflex block, but he can't really do much. I'm trying to protect Roxy just by putting some more damage on Rona to see if I can get her to pull over my way. Take her down really quickly, and then Ardan falls pretty fast after that. I know that my support and jungler can take out the jungle, can take out the gold mine, and I'm going to come up here and try to push this turret as fast as I can so we can take 2 objectives at the same time before the enemy team can respawn. So as you see there, I'm using my Spitfire and my goop to try to clear out both the tower and the minion mine. So if you shoot a little bit under the tower, you can typically graze the tower and the minions at the same time, putting some burn on all of them, and then drop the goop right in the middle, which helps you farm up and still take the tower down pretty quickly. Feeling pretty good after that last engagement. I got my Broken Myth, which is going to give me a huge power spike, especially in more sustained fights. So what Broken Myth does is you have, I believe it's 5 stacks of 7%. So every time that you put damage on a hero, you get a stack, or it's per second. And that stack multiplies the amount of crystal damage that you do. So when you're up to 5 stacks, you're doing a lot more damage. As you can see right there, both my Spitfires and my basic attacks are doing just massive damage on Rona. Boom. Done. So my teammates are taking the minion mine. I'm going to rotate back up into the lane. I'm going to push our minion wave right here, which has a nice little ace buff, and I'm going to go ahead and take out another turret quickly so we can get this objective down before the enemy team spawns. So I check it. They're up, so we want to be a little cautious because they could rush out of the base. There's Vox. He's going to take out this minion wave pretty quickly because they're all really low health after that turret explodes. Got rid of that scout trap right there. Rona tries to jump in for me. Roxy comes in with the save and gets her stunned up against the wall. I use my ultimate, try to go after Vox. He kind of jukes around me. You can see like pass right through the wall. So we back off a little bit, not wanting to fight too much because they probably got an infusion during that ace. So we're going to rotate down, we're going to come down to the jungle shop. I'm going to let Roxy actually feed up a little bit more because I'm doing well on my build. Looking at it, grabbing some batteries so I don't have to deal with my energy problems anymore. And going back up to lane so I can kind of make sure we don't risk losing our tower. Actually, I'm turning around. We see him down in the down in that lower tri-bush off on the right-hand side. There goes the flare. I see Vox up over the lane. I think this is actually a good time. We can probably take the gold miner right now. We've got a minute and 30 seconds until it actually expires for the Kraken, but we can take it pretty quickly. They try to jump in and get it. Actually, they did get it. That was a good play by Rona, but she's gonna fall for that one. There's the Spitfire to do that. I think we're now gonna maybe try to pursue and see if we can get Vox. Alright, so our Rome is up in the lane going 2v1 for some reason. Roxy and I are going down trying to buff up our minions a little bit. There's another Scowl Trap. So they see that we're down here taking their jungle farm. Not really much they can do right now because we're pretty fed. And, you know, while Vox is strong like 1v3, especially late game if we're all clumped up, I still am pretty confident we can do it because I've, you know, got my goop. Jug's probably got his stun going on. Gonna get a little bit more movement speed so I can start to navigate around the map a little bit. So with movement speed, I always buy it when it becomes a necessity. So during like the earlier part of the game, perfectly fine with the tier 1 boots. Vox wasn't being that aggressive for me, so I could, you know, deal with being kind of the slow, lumbering dragon that Skaarf is. But now as the game is progressing, the pace is picking up a little bit, especially with Rona's little hop that she can do. I want to make sure that I have a little bit more mobility. So you can see their Ardan's flaring us. They're, you know, see exactly where we are. It doesn't look like they're trying to jump in and fight. Ooh, Vox just popped an infusion, so we know he's ready to go. Kind of back off. There goes Jug. He gets some silence. We come in. Roxy comes in with the, just great afterburn. My ultimate gets blocked by Vox. Ooh, this isn't looking too good. I go down. Roxy gets out. Ooh, afterburn over the wall. That was really good. He's going to get to safety. That was a fantastic play by him. So you can see how like to utilize that Glaive afterburn. It can be used as kind of an aggressive tactic to come in and stun an enemy, or you can use it to escape and get out really quick. Kind of checking the turret right now. We've got a pretty big minion wave. Maybe it could take down the turret, even if we're not there. Trying to find out where the enemy is. Vox just popped up on the mini map, so he's probably going to clear that out before they get the turret, but you know, it's getting low, which is good. Enemy team actually got the Kraken during that time. I'm okay with it because we could actually probably burn this down pretty quickly, and it's going to give us like 500 free gold. So, you know, hopefully we can finish this fight off. Oh, we caught him down like shopping. There goes the wait for it from Vox. Roxy turns on him. I'm going to still concentrate on Rona, even though we should kind of clump up a little bit more than we are. I'm out of position, still trying to chase him down. I'm going to use my ultimate to see if I can slow them down and come in a little bit more. Burning Rona, we got him. Jug's low, but I think, you know, with Roxy and I both at full health, we can get in there. They're doing some definite work on our turret. The first one goes down. I'm going to land a Spitfire on the Kraken, try to see if I can burn it down some more. Hopefully we can protect this second turret. So each turret is worth 300 gold to the enemy team, but the Kraken is worth 500 gold if we kill it. So that's a total of 900 gold for each tower for the enemy team that they take down, but it's 1500 gold if we take down the Kraken. So we just netted about 600 gold off of that that exchange. So there's certain times in the game where if the enemy team is going for Kraken and you have all of your towers, maybe not the worst thing to happen, because you can actually get a gold swing in your advantage from that. So we're clearing out our lower jungle camps, coming around. I'm gonna maybe do a little Spitfire check in the bush. Nope, I don't do it on this time. Get another heavy prism. So my build is actually turning out really well right now. I've got my Broken Myth, I've got my Alternating Current, and I'm working into that Eve of Harvest for that little extra bit of sustain in these fights, because Eve of Harvest is going to give me that lifesteal. I see him in that jungle bush, even though I wanted to come back and maybe pick up another item, because I've got that 800 gold for the Eve of Harvest, but didn't want to risk being caught out of position. So I'm just going to go up, farm up some more. I missed that minion, unfortunately. Got that one. If we check our CS, I'm about 118 minutes into the game, which isn't fantastic, but kind of the way that this game is going, it's okay. So here comes a fight. Ardan kind of comes in to try to pick it up. Catherine goes in. I could have been a little bit quicker on it, but I dropped my goop right down underneath Rona. She's a little slow, but that way if she started spinning right at that time, you know, wouldn't be too concerned. So we're caught in the gauntlet right now. I go down. Hopefully Roxy can get out of this so we don't give up the ace. Looks like he's going to get out. Alright. I picked up my Eve of Harvest, which is definitely going to help out in situations exactly like that. Alright, working into building up an A just a little bit, which will give me a little bit more sustain against that Vox, because he's really the one that I'm concerned about the most, just because of the resonance and just his late game power in general. We're going to lose another tower right here. Rona's going to do some work on our minions, try to see if she can push them forward a little bit more. Yep, so she's working there. Jug's up, he's taking on Rona. I don't know why she's sticking around, because I'm up and so is he, so he stuns her. I do a Spitfire and a goop and we get the kill right there. That was actually a really bad trade by her, because she didn't really do much work on our turret. Instead, it just kind of allowed us to go in, get a kill on their team, and now they're actually down one player. So now that we're kind of grouped up, we might try to do a little headhunting and see if we can find the enemy Ardan and Vox and go 3v2 on them right now. Even though we're not working too fast on it, let's do a quick Spitfire in the bush to see. Jug does a face check. And we're kind of dancing around. For some reason, Jug hits the Kraken right now, which is kind of curious. I think when we were talking on Discord, we were kind of wondering why he was doing that. So I come up here, I clear out the rest of the lane, see if I can push a little bit. We find the Ardan, so we come back down. They've actually done about half the work on the Kraken. Kind of turns towards me, come back up. We're trying to position ourselves, figure out, you know, what the enemy team is doing. So waiting for a second, so we see the Rona at the top. We were thinking about porting back, but since we know where they are, I'm gonna pick up my, not an Aegis, I'm gonna double infuse actually this time and see if I can do some like major damage at this point. Because if we win one team fight, we can probably close out this game pretty quickly. This is gonna be pretty important. So I do a Spitfire, clear out this lane, see if I can get it pushed a little bit more. Check behind us to make sure that they're not rotating back. Clear these guys out a little bit as well. And our roamer signals for us to move down, so we're checking there. Check the bottom bush just to make sure there's no ambush there. So we see Vox at the upper right hand corner of our screen on that mini map. So we move up, see if he comes down with the minion wave. Doesn't look like he's coming. We've got flared, so the enemy team knows exactly where we are. Jug moves in quickly, comes back to us. I'm just gonna keep kind of controlling this lane, keep it where we want it to be. I'm kind of playing it safe a little bit in the back, just making sure that Rona's not sneaking up around us. So we come back down. Again, Jug just loves going after the Kraken for some reason. The enemy team is really close. I don't know why we're doing this. So there goes Rona, she jumps in. I drop the goop right behind her. Ardan's on me. So I'm gonna ult, which actually cancels his ultimate, which is kind of nice. And since the Kraken is so low, I'm going to try to take it right now. Ardan's right there. Oh. So they ended up stealing the Kraken. Probably not the smartest move on my side. Lay down the goop. Let's see what I can do. So now you can see where those broken misstacks really are paying off, because, you know, essentially, you know, I got a little bit of help from Roxy there, but I was able to really weaken the enemy team just with a couple of Spitfires and goops in a well-placed area. And as Skaarf, like one of the best places you can do is put your goop right between the rock as you're coming up, because the enemy team, if they want to come for you, has to go around, has to go through it, which both A, slows them, and then 2, also puts on some pretty massive damage. But as you can see, we burned down that Kraken super quick. The Kraken didn't even touch a single one of our towers, again giving us a total of 1,500 gold for the team. So I'm sitting on 2,300 gold right now. Probably going to go down and try to see if I can take their other minion mine just to help us give a little bit more of a push, so our minions will start pushing into their base a little bit more. I shoot a Spitfire into their back camps, decide not to risk it. My infusions die out right there. So I'm coming back around, taking a look at the item map, grabbing my Aegis, getting a little bit more speed with those tier 3 boots. That's also going to give me a little bit more sustain in terms of shielding.
Enemy team stole a minion mine.
So there's the flare, they know where we are. I don't actually know where the flare came from, so I'm just kind of moving up into safety, following behind Roxy and Jug, shooting the Spitfire. Alright, so I see Vox up in the top. We're going to retake this minion mine here, again, to keep the pressure on them. We're really at the point now where, you know, the next team fight could essentially win this game. So Scout Trap right there gets popped. They see exactly where we are. Just trying to clear the minion wave to help us gain a little bit more control. It also keeps me in the backfield a little bit, so, you know, Rona or Ardan can't just come in and gank me, because I'm really the squishiest on my team. We're kind of kiting around, we're moving around as a team. You can see how we're, you know, moving around the map. They flare us, we move. They flare us, we move. Trying to build up a little bit more money here. These front camps are actually pretty strong. So I see that they're engaging over by the minion mine. Ardan laid down his gauntlet, so I'm just going to sit out here and really try to, like, give as much poke as we can. Wasted my ult right there trying to go through the gauntlet wall. But we're going to go through, let's see. Coming up, I shoot my Spitfire, it just misses Rona. I'm going to take this healer right here so I can get that extra bit of energy. That'll help me out if they end up re-engaging, but they don't. We take the healer there. So one of the things with Skaarf is you can get a pretty good basic attack if you stutter step. So spit, step, spit, step, spit, step, spit, step, all the way along. Gives you a nice little boost on your attack speed. So we're really taking down this Kraken pretty quickly. So Jug's telling me he wants me to go move into this other bush to make sure we don't get ganked, just like we are right now. So I'm trying to kite away. I ended up going down, but we took the Kraken, which is great. Jug comes in. We're telling him to kind of run at the moment and keep away from Rona and Ardan. See if he survives this one. Uses Merciless Pursuit to get away, pops the bubble. Every time they hit him, they're taking a little bit more damage. So they're going to decide whether or not they want to go for the Kraken. Rona actually got caught out right there, so she got a little bit greedy, as you can see that. Oh no, she actually got away. So she jumped over the, she used her A and jumped over the wall. That was actually a pretty solid move. Roxy's following after, it looks like. Jug just came across the middle of the map. Taking a look at my items, what we need. I think at this point in time I'm just going to infuse up when I respawn. So the Kraken's kind of tearing away right now. Alright, I'm back. Coming out of the gate. See, I've got 1,000 gold right now. My team is on the other side of the map. I'm just going to go ahead and farm up this stuff just to give myself a little bit more gold for if I want to complete another item or get that double infuse for kind of our last push in the game. Take those. Wow, those are some fat back camps at 174 gold each. That's really impressive. So they're signaling to come meet up. So I'm going to move past that jungle camp. There's the double infuse right there. Pop it. And we're ready to go. Oh, great silence right there. Silence is probably done. I'm going to shoot the Spitfire over the wall. It actually lands on Vox, which is really lucky. I'm going to go around the side. Vox walks right into my Spitfire again, and I'm going to use my ultimate on this part. I think I'm going to pop the boots to try to see if I can get through. Roxy has an amazing stun that goes right into me, and that pretty much deletes Vox right there. We're talking a little bit. Should we tank the tower? We're just going to decide to go into it just because I can stay far enough away from Rona that it's not really going to do much. So she stands right on top of my goop, which is kind of funny. So we're tanking the tower. We got that one. I'm going to put some poke onto Ardan. Again, Rona comes in. I'm kiting backwards, hit her with a Spitfire, and you can just see what happens with those just massive broken myth stacks. Essentially, it just melts her. So we're on the Vayne turret right now. This is going to be a good game. And as you can see, it wasn't a bad one. We went 10, 4, and 9, 153 CS. That was a solid game. So, well, thanks for watching. Hopefully maybe I'll learn a trick or two. Skaarf's always fun to play. Got to give it up for the enemy team. They actually played really well. And we'll catch you next time.